Now that we've centered ourselves in what's possible when we come together, we wanted to get you closer to the amazing work coming out of the Rockefeller Foundation's Big Bets initiative, a bold strategy to back visionary leaders who are working at scale to tackle some of the biggest challenges of our time. This next session takes the spotlights off the stage and brings them directly to you so you can dig deeper, ask questions, and spark new ideas. We'll begin by hearing from 3 fellows. Then we're going back to the tables. You'll be joined by additional Big Bets fellows and Nation Swell facilitators who will guide you through a series of roundtable conversations, all focused on what it really takes to move from bold ideas to shared action. So get ready to listen, to share, and to spark the kinds of connections that just might carry beyond today. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Big Bets Fellows, CEO of Coalfield Development, Jacob Hanna. President and CEO of the United Way of Greater Newark, Catherine Wilson. And CEO and founder of One Degree, Ray Faustino. Jacob, why don't you tell us a little bit about your work first?
Happy to. Howdy, folks. My name is Jacob Hanna. I'm a proud 5th-generation West Virginian, if you couldn't tell already by the very loud belt buckle. It is my goal to one day have a 6th generation in West Virginia and be a father. But what do you do when your home becomes uninhabitable? It started for me when my dad and about 6,000 other coal miners in our region received their last paycheck, resulting in the loss of all the high-paying jobs in our region. And so the place where I want to start a family now has the lowest labor participation rate in all of America. It got only worse from there. Folks like my aunt and 9,000 other Appalachians began to overdose from the opioid epidemic targeting our region. And so the place where I want to start a family now has the highest opiate overdose rate in all of America. This impacting force made our rural communities one by one begin to shut down, to collapse, downtowns boarded up, schools abandoned, and so the place where I want to raise a family has some of the fastest crumbling infrastructure and is now one of the least educated states in America. This is a vicious cycle, folks. Declining prosperity begets declining people, which begets declining places, and it feeds itself over and over. And I'm told that the responsible thing to do would be to not raise a generation there, but to move on and abandon the region. But to that, I politely refuse. I refuse because I have a big bet. And that bet is that we can reverse engineer that vicious cycle to be a virtuous one. And we've been proving that concept for about 15 years now with our organization. It's a nonprofit called Coalfield Development. And it all starts with those people who have been left behind. We have a holistic workforce development model that provides wraparound services to empower folks personally, professionally, and academically. Folks like Ashley and Andy, who have come through all those barriers that you heard me mention, who get paid to be trained on the job in sustainable construction, agriculture, solar, and many other sectors. But what's most important is that they get paid for their time to remove those generational barriers, to get their driver's license back, to get their GED, to get their associate degree. I carry my GED with me every day in my wallet. It's an unlocking factor. And then those folks, those 4,000 people that we've now empowered, help us to then transform their local places. So we're a licensed general contractor. We take on all the buildings that no one else wants to. And we lean into folks who have graduated our program, like Ashley and Andy, and they've become supervisors of their own crews to then transform those buildings into hubs for their communities. One of those buildings is actually Andy's old high school that was abandoned. That's now going to become a mixed-use hub with apartments and businesses, et cetera. We've reclaimed about 20 different properties like that in our neighborhood. And then lastly, we want to see those jobs come back. And I can't make all the jobs happen on my own, so we utilize those renovated facilities to be incubating hubs for employment-based social enterprises. And we make equity investments into those enterprises to grow and flourish in an economy that is challenging to start up new initiatives. So enterprises like Solar Holler and many others that deploy solar on top of old abandoned coal mine sites to continue to power energy for the nation. This is a truly transformative model for West Virginia. But it's my hunch that this isn't just unique as a challenge or an opportunity to West Virginia, and that this is a model that's actually needed in the coal communities of Wyoming, the oil fields of Texas, the Chemical Valley of Louisiana, and all of Greater Appalachia. And so We built some exciting relationships and partnerships. You're hearing a lot about collective impact. We've been leaning into that, and we were able to leverage a $500 million EPA grant to take this model to that national approach while still doubling down and serving our own backyard. Here's a twist. There's a twist. You heard me say federal. So that grant was terminated this year, unfortunately. But if you can't tell already, we're a resilient people, and we're not giving up on it. We know we've built something real, something that can scale, something that can replicate. And even though I can't address all of the rural communities of America all at once, I believe there are folks like you all, folks like our friends at the Rockefeller Foundation, that want to help us at least get to the next community, and then the next state, and then the next region, until eventually we've empowered the 40 million Americans eager to revitalize their rural communities. Because it is our big bet that you don't have to leave your rural community in order to have a thriving life. And one day, I hope to tell my West Virginian kid all about it. Thank you.